No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So I've been doing stuff. I've been calling it stuff I like about Hitler as a joke, but it's actually stuff I like of movies that concern Hitler. And yesterday we did Downfall. This, I've got to tell you, is one of the greatest movies ever made. I'm sure in any list of 100 great movies, this would have to be one of them. And Charlie Chaplin, you know, nobody watches him anymore, but he is so... I was once walking down a street in New York, and I saw this cluster of people just in stitches, just absolutely in stitches. And I walked over to see what they were looking at, and here were all these sophisticated... It was right on 57th Street, so the heart of, like, sophisticated Manhattan. And all these people were just standing there mesmerized outside a TV store because the TV in the store was showing a scene from Charlie Chaplin's silent film. And Chaplin did not make many sound films, but one of them he made in 1940 because he was so upset about what was happening in Europe. And it's called The Great Dictator. And it's Chaplin playing a dual role as Adenoid Hynkel, who's Adolf Hitler, Adenoid Hynkel, and his other role is he is an amnesiac Jewish barber. And this movie, it holds up fantastically. It has classic scenes in it. A scene where Adenoid Hynkel is dreaming of conquering the world, and he just does this dance with a balloon globe that is, you know, it's kind of out of Chaplin's silent movie tradition, which is just brilliant. I found it hard to find a scene that isn't full of sight gags, so I will play this, but if you're not watching it, you can't see what's going on, and it won't be as funny. But it's basically Adenoid Hynkel, who is Hitler, goes to visit Napoleone, who is Mussolini. He's the dictator of bacteria. The country of bacteria. I can't remember what Adenoid Hynkel's country is called. It's like... it's Tomaine, I think. Tomania, that's what it is. And he goes, and they're negotiating a treaty, and the treaty is not to invade nearby Austerlitz. And Napoleone doesn't want to sign wants Hynkel to sign the treaty before he removes his troops, and Hynkel wants him to remove his troops before he signs the treaty, and they start arguing, and Chaplin keeps ordering strawberries because he gets so upset he keeps throwing them over his shoulder, and they keep hitting this guy in the head. It's a stitch. I mean, you can see it, but you should watch the entire movie. Just watch this little scene as Napoleone and Adenoid Hynkel negotiate their treaty.
Well, you don't expect me to sign while your troops are there on the border.
You don't expect me to remove the troops until you sign?
Why not?
Why should I?
Why shouldn't you? Austerlitz is a free country.
So?
Your soldiers are there on the Austerlitz border.
And they'll stay there until you sign it as a treaty.
You'll take them off or I'll blow them off. Gentlemen, this won't get us anywhere.
Your Excellency, to quote an old Latin phrase, look!
He's all right. Speaking to him, tell him to shut his...
Rubbish.
Well, where's the buy a sandwich? Well, give me another one.
Can't we sit down and discuss
I'm a guest
this
here.
thing
Nobody
without
talk to me
passion?
in my own enjoyment like
I
that.
ask you, can't we sit down and discuss this thing without passion?
I am not a passionate. I am a juster, that's all. I want to sign the treaty. I remove the
Your
troops.
Excellency, can't you understand? What would my people think signing such a treaty when your soldiers are there on the Austerlitz border?
I will not remove a soldier until you sign them.
Not until you clear that border will I sign anything.
Then my soldiers remain.
Then I kick them off.
Want to move it from you, Hickey, and my artillery take us like this and toss you to pieces.
Yes, and my aeroplanes will bomb your artillery like that.
You want to start a world war? I'll get you one.
You and the world I'll throw in the ocean. Gentlemen, please.
No! Wait a minute, no!
I'll be Do you claim me? I'm Strawberries.
Strawberries. You got to see it. It's classic stuff. I mean, I'm sure if you're just listening, it's not as funny, but it is really good. And it just devolves into an entire food fight where they're accidentally eating all this hot English mustard. The thing that I love about this film, it's just hilarious. The two of them wind up on the sofa just like gagging on the English mustard. The thing that I love about this is like Mel Brooks's The Producers, Springtime for Hitler, you know, laughing at these guys. Chaplin said in his autobiography that he would not have been able to make this film because it's so funny and so touching if he had known that the Holocaust was happening. You know, it's like, and the thing about evil, and I've said this a number of times, evil would be hilarious if it weren't for the human suffering. If you could take out the human suffering, evil is the essence of satire, because it's the essence of the stupid things people do that so, a guy comes to power and says, I know what's going to really help our country. Let's kill 6 million of our citizens, set the world on fire, and bring like hell down on top. And people go, it's a good idea. I think that's, why didn't I think of that? It would be hilarious if it weren't for all the dead, And so the fact that Chaplin didn't know how bad it was. But when you look at the guys who we see talking, these right-wingers now, it's the alt-right, I hate to include them on the right because I don't feel that they're true conservatives, but these guys who are so proud of their whiteness and think that, all the ideas in history grow out of bloodlines instead of out of thought, and instead of, out of the thought of Athens and the thought of Jerusalem and Christ and all this. They're people who just reduce it to what they're hilarious. They would be hilarious if they weren't so damn destructive. And Chaplin just catches that. He catches what fools they are, and it is just an absolutely uproarious film. You really should just sit down and watch it, with the family. It is just a really wonderful, wonderful movie. The Great Dictator, 1940, Charlie Chaplin, the great Charlie Chaplin. That's it for today. We have another guest tomorrow. I think Mike Duran is coming on to discuss why conservatives won't give Donald Trump a break. That should be a popular Daily Wire theme. I'll never get out of here alive tomorrow. But he's really great, and it's worth. It'll be worth talking to him. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is The Andrew Klavan Show, and we will see you again tomorrow.